Hello and welcome to this Studio Brutal tutorial on how to make a Birmingham Techno Stab, like you can hear in the background. I'll show you how to make it, but you don't have to make it from scratch. You can download the patch, it's totally free, it's in the description below, so go and get this rack, and it's got the processing on it, and then I'll show you how to use it and how I made this sound. And please, when you're there, it's in the description, please when you're there give us a like and subscribe or a comment or anything like that, it really helps. Cheers. So let's get into it. So this sound, I suppose, was made famous really before the Birmingham Techno sound. It's made famous by sort of the harder end of Detroit, the early stuff, the early Jeff Mills Underground Resistance records, and then really it became famous from Surgeon and Regis in Birmingham, and later like Oscar Mulero and the whole Spanish techno thing, which is coming back. It's just a really thick, detuned sound that's normally cut short, and I'll show you how I made it. It's just using Ableton Wavetable and all Ableton native instruments and plugins and stuff, so you don't need any third-party stuff, and you should be able to make it yourself. But get the rack from the description, and let's get going. So first of all, the MIDI. This is just a really simple stab on. It's all one key. You could change it, but for this tutorial, it's just a simple stab. But the key to this sound is a lot of detuning. So I've got this. This is the chord unit here. And it's not playing a very nice chord, it's playing a bit of an off, horrible, like your cat walked on the keyboard chord, but that's what you want it to be thick and detuned and nasty. You can make it into a Detroit chord as well, like that, but I've just got it off, like that. So it's detuned, it's not playing just one note, it's playing 3 on every one. Then it's got it's detuned again here on the unison. All 8 voices are in. If I change the unison amount, you can hear it. You might want to tweak this as well, depending on how you want it to sound. And you can normally find a good sweet spot. And then, importantly as well, it's got 3 oscillators. And they're all detuned. You can see here this one, this oscillator's on, this oscillator's on, and the sub oscillator on. The sub oscillator is just in key, and this one is slightly off, it's slightly down by 15 cents. You can see it's detuned, and this one is up by 15 cents. And if I put them to the max, you can detune it even more, which maybe that's the sound you want. So these are the detune settings are really important here, and you want to experiment with them to find the sound you want. Those are the 3 detune settings. Then the next important thing is it's cut short on the filter. You can see this envelope here too. That's the filter envelope, and it is cutting it short. That's what it sounds like without the filter envelope. But you're cutting it short, so it's a stab, and it's like really punchy and almost percussive. Then the other key feature is it's got a little bit of movement. There's an LFO here which is looping every 3 bars, and that's moving a couple of things like the unison, but just slightly, so you don't really notice it, but so it's not so repetitive and boring. It moves slightly, and it's also moving these wavetables, which you can see here, the wavetable effects actually, and they're on. The wavetable effects are on here on FM. If I change it, it changes the sound slightly. And that's what the LFO is doing slightly over time. That's it for the synthesis, and then it's the effects. It's distorted quite heavily. It's distorted here. There's 2 filters on wavetable. They've both got distortion on. I can turn it up and it gets real nasty. So you've got 2 slight distortions on. They're not on load. They're not on max. And then I've got Ableton's amp unit to distort it even more. I've got that on here. And then then there's another distortion at the end as well, which is a drum bus, which is quite nice if you want to go for a heavy distorted sound. And that is after the reverb, which you're probably not supposed to do in the rulebook, but I think it's really nice to distort the reverb, so you get it sounds like you distorted the whole room. So yeah, between those two distortions there's an echo unit, just normal delay, a bit off to the left and right, they're slightly uneven with a bit of error, and then reverb, and yeah, then that last drum bus and EQ at the end. So yeah, that is roughly the sound. A thick detuned sound, cut short on the filters, a little bit of movement, and yeah, delay and reverb. I'll show you, and then I've taken the most important things and put them at the front here for playing, for like tweaking the sound on the macros. There's a lot, you can tweak more, but these are the main ones. So yeah, the first one is filter. If I turn it up, it just opens the filter. And using that in conjunction with the resonance, you can tweak this and get quite a nice sound. And also this amp envelope here, which is how long the note is played for. I mean, obviously the filter has to be up, or the filter's cutting it short anyway, but you can get some quite nice builds by pulling that up. Just put it back to normal. And then there's envelope decay, which is envelope 2 decay, which is really important, which is this. So when the filter's back down to normal, that's how punchy it is. And this is really cool for sort of automating, for little builds. And then back. There's also, I put the high pass filter, the second filter, which I'm really only using to add distortion, but I've added it here so it takes the bass out. So if you're building the sound, you can take the bass out like. Stick it back in there. Then oscillator 2, I showed you the effects, how they change the sound a bit, the wavetable effects. I've set one of these to the macro so you can move it slightly over time. The LFO is actually already moving it slowly over time. If you move it, it sort of changes the sound a bit, keeps it moving. So it's something you might want to automate. Doesn't do a lot, but it keeps it, keeps the interest going when you've got this sort of solid repetitive techno loop. And then yeah, the amp distortion is here. That's the amp amount. And then the reverb decay, which is really nice to make a little build. So yeah, you can build them like that. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I just wanted to make it playable by putting the main 8 there. So yeah, that's it. You want a thick, heavy detuned sound. Three oscillators, all a bit off from each other, some unison, and a weird chord, so it's just really thick. Cut short on the filter and open it up for builds and some distortion and delay and reverb. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, as I said, you can get this patch totally free. It's in the description below. Please do that, and please give us a like and subscribe and comment when you get that. It really help me out. And yeah, that's it. Good luck with your music making, and I hope you have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.